Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 8 o'clock a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. I hope that you're all doing well, fantastic. I hope you feel good. I hope you're motivated. I hope you're safe. I hope that you are, I hope you're well rested, and I hope that you're ready to achieve great things. You know, I don't know if enough of you or us, or because we're all in it together, I don't know if enough of us realize that we are destined for great things. You are destined for great things, whoever you are, wherever you're at. You might be in Montgomery, Illinois. You might be in Midlothian, Illinois. But wherever you are, I hope that you're having a blessed and beautiful morning, and I want you to know that you can achieve great things. Gabriel Bradford, how are you?
I'm doing really well.
Word
Having a pretty good day. Excited for this week. You know, we're at the end of the week and looking forward to the weekends. And I mean, there's the Chicago Auto Show. So I'm excited. As somebody who's lived in Chicagoland area for the past 10 years, I've never been. So excited. Right. How are you feeling?
I'm all right. I'm doing pretty good. Gabriel's going to the auto show, so have a good time out there. Be safe. Take some pics, man, and hope that you have a good time. Roger F. Martinico, good morning to you. Patricia Kagwan Rooney, good morning. David Cannon, Faustina Mangasar, Maricel Dulay, and Josue Pais, good morning to all of you beautiful people. The time is 8:01 a.m. We got good things to talk about today, and got some interesting news to deliver to you guys as well. First things first, do not forget that coming up on February 25th is the Community Expo. That'll be held at the Prisco Community Center. That's the Black History Celebration. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information on that, you can call 331-300-3566. That number again is 331-300-3566. February 25th is the day. Josie Mendoza Geller is back. Good morning to you, Josie Mendoza Geller. You know, the cool thing about doing this is after you don't see certain people for a while, you see their name pop up and you're like, oh yeah, how about that? Josie, good to see you this morning. So here's how we're going to do things right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off with one of the best articles that I have read recently that I actually think is pretty cool. Aurora has approved more than $1 million in grants. The Aurora City Council just this week approved more than $1 million in quality of life grants. Now, we told you about the organizations who had requested grant funds, and we told you about certain dollar amounts. We're happy to report on some of that today. The time is 8:03. Quality of life grants are given to organizations that provide for Aurora citizens in the areas of basic needs, community, education and youth, mental health, museums, and services for seniors. In total, 41 out of 50 grant requests received some kind of funding totaling $1.5 million. There was about $1.75 million requested in grant funding. The specific grants awarded include $25,000 to Fox Valley. First of all, no, don't scratch it up now. You was ready though.
Yeah, it sounded like something I was going to scratch up to. I was like, I don't know.
You know what? I'm proud. You already know. See?
Yeah.
It's in your blood now. Okay.
Yeah.
You. All right, Gabriel Bradford. What I was going to say, though, is that there's an exhaustive list of all these organizations. We'll make a link to the article that you guys can read on your own. Not going to detail every single organization that received funds. I'm just going to finish the paragraph that I am reading with some considerable information here. The specific grants awarded include $25,000 to the Fox Valley United Way for Spark, an early childhood program, $5,000 to the Indian Prairie Educational Foundation for the Kids Essentials Program, $20,000 to Loaves and Fishes for emergency assistance, $25,000 to the Marie Wilkerson Food Pantry for the community growing food needs, and $20,000 to the YWCA for the Early Childhood Emergency Fund Project. All of those were in the category labeled basic needs. The time is 8:04. Gabriel Bradford, what do you think about all that?
I think it's always amazing. I love it when local organizations are supported by that.
Word up.
All the funding and grants, it's always helpful for local non-for-profits because, again, it's actually fairly expensive to run a non-for-profit.
Right.
And, again, you're not making any money because you're not-for-profit, so most places don't charge people enormous amounts of money to use their services. So
yes, as we talked about last week, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot. We've interviewed a lot of people. We've had the pleasure of interviewing people who are dreaming and just started trying to do a business, and we've interviewed people on the opposite spectrum who are executive directors and large heads of corporations and organizations. So we've run the gamut of people we've interviewed, and the one thing that's a constant in all of that is that it costs a lot of money to run a business. Things like everything from toilet paper to paying your employees. So, kudos to those organizations who are doing great things in the community. I'm glad they got their funds. Let the games begin. That actually didn't flow that well. Scratch it up.
Oh yeah, we got to scratch it. Let the
games begin. What the?
Well, that
was weird. Why did I say that?
That's from like the Hunger Games, right? May the odds ever be in your favor.
Right. I mean, I guess the spirit behind what I meant with that was like, let's redouble our efforts, right?
Yes.
We applied for a grant. We got let's get started. Yeah. Let's get busy.
Double down.
Right. Not let the games.
Let the games be. That sounds like
that was whack.
Yo, that's something from like the Hunger Games too. I think
that was whack.
Have you seen that movie? It's so good.
I have. Kim Chun, good morning. Zyrene, Faye, Donato, good morning. Robert Navaja, good morning. Jean Garcia Talatag, good morning. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, J. Mark, Saul Olivas, and Rahmanullah Shenwari. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. The time is 8:07 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Jonathan Rosenthal is here. He says, you just took what I was going to write. See? Hey, man. Like-minded, right?
Yeah. Great minds think alike.
They do, dog. They do. All right. So the grant information, as I mentioned, we will make a post separate to that so that you can read all of that good information on your own at your own leisure. I'm going to tell you about a couple things taking place here locally that are coming up this weekend, and then let you guys know about the other couple of projects, River Street in Aurora, the same side of the street as Wickwood House, right across the street from, it's a big empty parking lot, but 64 South Broadway, or South River Street, that's the address. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is hosted by Brenda Donatlan. She's a real estate broker. Giovanni Salinas and Francisco Robinson, friend of ours. They're all going to be there. This is brought to us by Duarte Realty Company, the Federal Savings Bank, the Neighbor Project, and the City of Aurora's Financial Empowerment Center. Get to know the FEC, located at 712 South River Street here in Aurora. There, you can get help with all manner of financial literacy and help building your credit, learning about mortgages, ILHAF, for example, how to work with the Illinois Department or scratch it up. What's crazy is I was just reading that email this morning. IHDA, the Illinois Housing Development Agency.
There we go. Got it.
Come on now. Yeah, so you can learn about it all there. 712 South River Street. For more information, you can call 630-906-9400. That number again is 630-906-9400. Evaluating your finances, budgeting, debt utilization, and the pros of home ownership are just a couple of things that will be talked about at this great workshop and seminar. Okay, well, before I get into the next piece of news and story, I just want to say that downtown now, if you're on River Street and where the library is, so that's Benton. So if you are on Benton and River, where the library is or where Society 57 is, keep an eye on that parcel of land back there on the side of the library. You know that big part of land right there? Because, Subway's right across the street.
Yeah, yep.
McCarty Mills is on that side of the street. Keep an eye on that piece of land. The city of Aurora has had many successes recently, and we have predicted on this show. This is before Gabriel Bradford was on the show, but we have predicted on this show that River Street will be the happening street in Aurora. It's going to be River.
Yeah,
It's going to be River.
there's a lot happening on River.
It's gonna be River.
Seeing a lot.
I mean, Broadway is Broadway, and every Broadway in every town in America has its own iconic status. That Broadway, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're on. If George Benson makes a song about your street, it's definitely worth something. But River Street for us here in Aurora, I feel is going to be the main drag. It's going to be the happening street. It's going to be the happening spot, because all of the businesses that are located on that section of South River Street where McCarty Mills is, those bottom open spots are starting to get filled up.
Oh, all of them are.
Yep. And not only that, with the open piece of land right there, there is scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt is a Navy term for rumor. There is scuttlebutt that might be a little razzle dazzle, a little something. What will it be though? Right? What will it be? Will it be a park? We don't know.
That's what I've been wondering, because I always thought that place would look so nice with like a park, or like even if they stuck like some random business there, like it was like a Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or
no.
I mean like a restaurant.
Right
you know what I'm
there,
saying?
that would be terrible.
No,
right there in that little spot.
Well, like a smoothie joint or something like that. That'd be kind of good.
That'd be kind of that'd be different. Because I mean, you wouldn't want a McDonald's. First of all, it's off of Lake Street. It's the cut, and then plus way down there, there's nothing else really down there. I mean, you're headed towards the FEC then, and think of all the traffic that would be there, right?
Yeah, that'd be.
And think about if you live in the condos right there. Do you really want to open up your balcony and now you're looking at McDonald's? Amanda? No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want that. Take me to a commercial. Maria Chirito is here. Good morning to you, Maria Chirito. Who else is here? Dominga Porocha, good morning. Norma Peterson, good morning to you. Joseph Lusk, Gloria Gerardo, Jason Pena, Tracy Duran, and Roldan Poblete. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. The time is 8:12 a.m. Taking place tonight is going to be a great... There's a great online discussion about the Northgate sign and relighting that. Now, if you're an Auroran, here's the cool thing about this show. People listen to us from different places. Not everybody is an Auroran. Some people listen to us in Addison. How about that? But if you're an Auroran, you know that the Northgate sign, right? Lake Street?
Yeah.
That's a thing. And the candidates who are running for 6th Ward alderman at the moment, they're kicking around ideas about relighting that sign.
Oh,
it's that discussion now has new wings.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Now, I haven't heard anybody commit to saying I will be the person to relight that sign, but they are having the discussion, and I like that. So I welcome anybody. Good luck to the candidates running for 6th Ward alderman. It's a bunch, but whoever lights that sign, boy, if that sign could come back to life, that would look really good there. And I think that'd really provide a nice disposition for that strip of Lake Street. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I mean, I've seen some of the pictures that Tracy Duran has been posting online of like what the old sign used to look like, and it just looks like so fun. I think just if we did have more of an updated, update the sign obviously because it can't be
Right.
like it was in the 70s, but update it a little more, and I think it would look amazing. You got the Northgate sign because the star is so. I mean, it's such a big part of Aurora. Like the Northgate Star, like that's just such a big part here. So I mean,
Right.
you live in Aurora, you know exactly what we're talking about. So
Right.
I would definitely excited to hopefully see that be lit up again. That'd be super cool.
The time is 8:15 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. All right, here's the next piece of news. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Aurora is set to receive, you can bring a brother back on, my dog. Aurora is set to receive a $2.28 million federal grant for an upgrade to its 911 emergency dispatch center. City officials celebrated receipt of the money at Tuesday's city council meeting by recognizing public safety officials and honoring Congressman Bill Foster, who was instrumental in getting the grant for the city through the Consolidated Appropriations Act. Scratch it up. Has any human ever heard of that? The Consolidated Appropriations Act. Did you ever hear of that?
No, I actually
Never heard of
do not know what that act entails.
Here's what I'd like you to do as our newest intern. Look it up and then put that in the chat for the whole, for them. Put that in the chat for them.
I'm looking this up right now.
The Consolidated Appropriations Act, a masterful way with which to secure funding for a 911 dispatch center. Now, if that's not effective, I don't know what is. The article continues. Aurora Police Administrative Services Lieutenant Bill Rowley said that last year, the less than 20 dispatchers in the 911 center answered more than 250,000 calls for police, fire, medical, and other city services. 20 people answered more than 250,000 calls. According to Mr. Rowley, that small group of people made a huge impact on the city of Aurora. The money to build a recreated dispatch center, as well as supply with updated technology, will allow those dispatchers to do their job even better and more efficiently. According to Congressman Foster, it's always been one of my top priorities to see that Illinois gets its share of federal funding and make sure it arrives in places where it will do the most good. That is interesting. What'd you find, young man?
Well, I'm finding the legislation if people want to read that.
Yeah, because that's, what are you on, ILJA?
Just congress.gov.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the nutshell?
Essentially, I still need to find the write-up.
Okay. While you're looking for that, this next part about the dispatch center is pretty interesting, and it's something that, like, when people think about 911 calls, I don't know if people, like, I think a lot of people only associate that with the police, typically associate that with the police, but that's in the realm of services. My bad.
Yeah. So what I found is it's $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill funding the U.S. federal government for the 2023 fiscal year. It includes funding for a range of domestic and foreign policy priorities, including support for Ukraine, defense spending, and aid for regions affected by natural disasters.
Okay.
So it seems like it's an overarching the spending bill that was passed by the U.S. Congress, and that Bill Foster was able to bring in some of that funding to Aurora.
All right. According to Clayton Muhammad, Aurora's Chief Communications and Equity Officer, in the past year, as part of the community funding aspect of the Appropriations Act, Congressman Foster bought more than $26 million in funding for 15 projects in the 11th Congressional District, more than half of those projects in Illinois. Now, we do recall that one of them was the Roads and Bridges. I can't think of the name, but that was part of the American Rescue planned.
Yeah.
I Build Back Better Illinois.
Yeah,
it was for the state.
Yeah, it was like Build Back Better or something.
Yeah,
like
Build
that,
Back
yeah.
Better Illinois, which was specifically for our roads, bridges, and infrastructure. So we're getting an updated, emergency dispatch center. What do you guys think about that? Put that in the chat. Let us know what you think. The time is 8:19 a.m. What do you think about that, Gabriel?
I think it's amazing. And again, like dispatch centers are really important because when you have, when calls come in, the people responding to that are going to be different than the people who actually show up at your door. So
True.
you got to make sure you have all the right training, all the right equipment. And again, dispatch centers are not used just for the person who got robbed, right? They're also used for the kid who went missing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's a lot of technology that police departments have where, if somebody goes missing or if there's horrible situation, but if there's like an active shooter, there's a lot they can do from the dispatch center
Right.
that you can't do from like on the grounds.
Right.
And they can track cell phones. They can do a lot. They have like a lot of technology that people don't realize. Like even when kids are bullying kids on the web, they have a whole entire group that will go comb over somebody's social media and everything. So
yeah, they do. It's called it's like with 4 W's. State's attorney, the Kane County State's Attorney's Office actually partners up with various police agencies. One of the most recent ones was with the North Aurora Police Department. It's like something like cyberbullying. It's like a cyberbullying unit or something like that.
For that.
All right, take me to a commercial, my brother. The time is 8:20 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Alejandra, good morning to you. Eugene Gonzalez, good morning. Mina Ohulio, Jing Fabregas, and Alvin Soto, good morning to you, dear brother. APD is in the house. Mark Joseph Ignacio, Annette Prizio, May Dela Cruz Arceo, and Jocelyn Staana. Good morning. Okay. Aurora is seeking a new access point along Orchard Road for property at Orchard and I-88. City economic development officials said this week the access point for about 30 acres at the southeast corner of Orchard and I-88 would greatly increase a higher kind of development for the property. According to Trevor Dick, the city's assistant director in the mayor's office of economic development, quote, the property owner wants to market it as a mixed-use development. Without better access to Orchard Road, our analysis shows the potential for retail mixed use is greatly reduced. Letting you know, Orchard's a big street. A lot of things. It continues. To get that better access, the city needs an amendment to a 2000 agreement between Aurora and Kane County, which controls Orchard Road for the development of the Orchard Corridor. That agreement includes Kane County's rules that intersections must be at least 1,760 feet apart. That is not possible between I-88 and Sullivan Road. So, city officials in Kane County negotiated a deal to put a 3/4 intersection that meets up with Bushwood Drive on the west side of Orchard Road. Now, scratch it up. Now, see, that's what I'd like. That's what I like about the printed word in reading. Because just like with the Consolidated Appropriations Plan Act and all that, it's the stuff you uncover when you're reading the thing here. That's the magic,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's when you're reading and you're trying to find out, then you find out something that you'd never even, like, right? Who knew? Who knew that the city of Aurora and Kane County had an agreement that intersections must be 1,000. Only an engineer, or presumably a person within the city's relative body that handles our streets and roadways, would know that.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm always telling people, like, you need TV and documentaries, that's cool. But reading, when you read things, all kinds of stuff just comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing where if you hear some people's opinions about like city ordinances, and then you actually go and read what exactly was passed, you're like, in no way, shape, or form does it say what you think it said.
Or when it was passed.
Yeah.
And why it was passed when it was passed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's why you got to read the legislation and not listen to the opinions of other people, because it can be interpreted different ways.
Absolutely.
But then in practice, a lot of the legislation that people keep telling you is not going to do something is like, you look in practice, you're like, well, what does this legislation lead to? And in some cases, it can lead to what people have told you. But in other cases, people are super wrong. I mean, like, I can't tell you how many people have told me conspiracy theories. I'm just like, okay. And then I read the legislation, and it's a 180 from what they're telling me. I'm like, okay,
Well-
yeah, you didn't read that.
Well, yeah, people, that's the thing. You know, people have a tendency to have their belief, and no matter what you give them, they're still going to make it come back to their own, right, to their own way of thinking. And that's,
Oh, yeah.
I find it troubling and problematic, but it also doesn't help get things done on a bigger scale.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
we need to all be pulling the boat in the same direction, you know? And if our outcome, if what we're trying to achieve is different, we're not going to get there. You know what I'm saying? The gun legislation is a great example of that, you know? Which is why, you know, here on Good Morning Aurora, we just talk to the experts, man. We don't do that. We don't do the speculating. Right?
Yep.
Why would I need to
Exactly.
speculate? Sheriff Hain, why don't you tell me what it says? You know? Why should I speculate? Lori Baker, AID. What's the status of those suffering from mental health illnesses within DuPage, Kane, Will, and Kendall County? Why speculate when you could just find out from an expert?
Exactly. And that's who people should be going to, is talking to the experts. And again, there's so much you can learn from talking to people, going into, sometimes going a little into like the behind the scenes of what's going on, why they're doing it. I mean, I've had a lot of situations where I just a personal conversation with, my local representative, whoever it is, really clears up any of my questions as to, what they're doing and why they're doing it. Because, again, they really know what the legislation they're trying to pass. And so it's really always helpful to just talk to the professionals. They know what's going to happen. They know how it's going to be applied.
Right. You know? Unless, of course, you're like, at Dairy Queen or something like that. You're just trying to get a sundae, and then here comes the dude telling you about an oil change. You might want to just omit that information. That's a good reason and way to take me to a commercial, Gabriel Bradford. The time is 8:26 a.m. So real quick, before I get into this next piece of news, what time does the auto show start tomorrow?
Oh, I think it's like 10 o'clock.
Okay. How you getting there? Taking a train?
Taking a train. I'm probably carpooling up with a lot of friends. Got like
Okay.
a whole entire group who's going up, so it'll be like 10 or so people. It's
Okay.
going to be fun.
Y'all going carpool?
Yeah, we're taking we're going to be bringing up a lot of people, so
Okay.
yeah.
Y'all could, do it. Come on, man. Do it the real Chicago way, man. Get y'all save some money. Get the weekend pass on the Metro.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, bro. It's like $8 now.
Oh, it's like $7.
$7,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all
I
go
went
downtown.
just last month, and it was actually a lot of fun. I was like on the train. All I got to do is just, do work or relax. It was really nice.
The Metro is a whole vibe. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
And on the
but-
weekends, oh my goodness, y'all, there is nobody on the train on the weekends. Chicago's different. It's different on the weekends.
Yeah, kinda. It depends if it's a show or something going on.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can
It
be.
can
Cubs
be really
game?
busy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Buck wild.
But then if it's like, it was the last Saturday of January, like it was really chill. There was like no one there.
Okay. Well, enjoy yourself when you go down there to
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh, well.
to the auto show, man. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time, and take some pics, man. Take some pics. We'd like to see what you see. The time is 8:28 a.m. Okie dokie. The next piece of news that I have to tell you guys about is something that's going to be well, it's not going to be. It's in the overall piece of development news, but has to do with Oswego. Now, this is an article that is from 2 days ago, actually. Excuse me, 3 days ago. But I did want to mention this because it shows that, well, I think it was during the last election, we interviewed Brooke Shanley. Brooke Shanley ran for and won Kendall County Board, I think District 2. And she brought to our attention a very interesting fact that Kendall County is currently the fastest growing county in Illinois.
Oh, is it?
Kendall County.
I had no idea about that.
And since this is Kendall County news, I thought, since they're neighbors, why not? The issue of apartments and whether to allow more of them in the village has become a hot topic for the Oswego Village Board. Village trustees recently approved a resolution that sets housing targets for diversified housing and also approved revisions to a development agreement and a rezoning for Tuscany Station, a development set to include 13 three-story apartment buildings plus a commercial area on land that may include a future Metra commuter station in the village. Now that's news. A Metra station in Oswego. Coming soon.
Yeah. I mean,
soon.
that's a big thing because I think the longest time ever we've had, there's been a station here in Aurora, but I think that isn't that like the last stop?
Yeah, Aurora's the last stop. Yeah. Concept plans for Tuscany Station planned for 98.3 acres on the west side of Orchard Road, north of the BNSF Railway, were originally approved by the village in 2014 and revised in 2020. Trustees recently voted 5-1 in favor of revisions to the scratch it up. Sip it up, sip it up, sip it up, sip it up, sip it up. I see a lot of new names in the chat. When we mess up our speech and words, when we stumble over easy words like begin, we take a sip of whatever you're drinking. So coffee, whatever you're drinking right now, sip it up, sip it up.
Yep. That's for new listeners. Curtis loves his coffee, so we're always sipping it up.
But it's also to let us know that we need to relax.
Yep.
Calm down. Right? Woosah. Take it a little bit easy.
I haven't heard that before.
Bad Boys?
No,
Oh, boy.
I haven't seen Bad Boys.
Good movie.
Okay.
All right. Jubika Tesic, good morning to you. And Montefalco Avinic, good morning to you as well. All right, let's try that again. Trustees recently voted 5-1 in favor of revisions to the development agreement and rezoning at the request of the current developer. Trustee Brian Thomas was the only board member to vote against the agreement. Mr. Thomas has been vocal about the number of development projects the board has approved in the last couple of years, specifically those for rental properties. Village President Troy Parlier said that the Tuscany Station development will be outstanding for Oswego, including generating revenues for the school district. Mr. Parley said the concept plan was originally approved in 2014, and the board has only made it better. He said Thomas originally made the motion and voted in favor of the concept plans in 2020. So that's coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and one more thing. Trustee Terry Olson said he would be opposed to a moratorium on apartment projects. So development happening in Kendall County coming soon. This is another great article. It's really long, so I'll post this in the chat for you guys at the very end of the show. The time is time's 8:32 a.m. So what's going on with the Youth Council, Gabriel? Can you update us to the activities of what's happening with the board?
Yeah, so we have a lot going on right now, actually. We are pushing out our first program that will be across the whole entire city, where it's going to be called Think Cafe. And this will be a way to get feedback from high school students. We're going to for this semester, our goal is to target the 4 main schools here in Aurora. So it'd be Waubonsee, Metea, West Aurora, and East Aurora. And so we'll be targeting them. It's going to be small personal sessions where we talking with students, and it's kind of going to be run like, I don't know if you've seen Spectrum from like Jubilee Media, where they'll have a statement like, for example, you see yourself being in Aurora 5 years from now, right? And you go on, really highly agree, or you go all the way to the right and be like, no, I never will be in Aurora, right? And so it's just a spectrum. So you have maybe 6-10 people, each of them just sharing how they feel, what they think of that statement, how they agree or disagree, and then why. And so we'll be doing these sessions at all these high schools, and they'll be run with the Aurora Youth Services Department and then the Innovation Department. So that's going to be something we're really working on, and we're going to bring in this information and feedback to the city of Aurora, and we'll be presenting that to them. So
Think Cafe is what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Think Cafe. So it's something that we're really excited to be pushing out, and we have a lot of other partnerships coming out. We're going to be doing youth financial literacy seminars, and our target date is April. And then we're also doing some. We have some other stuff in the works. We're going to be doing a mental health essay contests coming soon. So stay tuned. We also got cleared for social media. So we are just. We actually have training later today to get all situated with that. So stay tuned to start seeing us popping up on social media.
Good stuff. Information for At-Reach Mentoring is next. At-Reach Mentoring, better known as ARM, is the community center of Hometown. It also doubles as an event space as well. So you can book the center, and there's different rates and things. You can book it for a business meeting, baby shower, prom, send-off, listening party, or family reunion. So At-Reach Mentoring is our friend Mr. David Smith Jr. He has started this great place, and it's there for young people to receive all kinds of help, including with homework, tutoring with math and reading, academic enrichment, and intentional life skills as well. Monday through Thursdays, 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and grades 1st through 8th. Do me a favor. I need to get a piece of news. Play Monarch real quick. We back. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call doing what you need with what you got. Okay, here's the piece of news I needed to give you. I've got downtown Aurora stuff coming to you next, and I also have an interesting piece of veterans news. So for those who are unfamiliar, Good Morning Aurora is a proud supporter of many veterans organizations, chief among them the Road Home program at Rush University in Chicago. The Road Home program provides free mental health resources to veterans and their families. For more information, you can reach out to us. We will put you in touch with it. But if you can, Gabriel, grab the link for the Road Home program at Rush and put that in the chat for the folks. Java Jams is coming up Sunday, March 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. This is going to take place at Java Plus, 1677 Montgomery Road. And once again, this is going to be featured by Fox River Academy of Music and Art. And we interviewed Mr. Thomas Hartnett. He's a great guy. He's a youth pastor, and he's a musician himself. He's going to be there setting up and providing a great space and opportunity for young people to come there, play their instruments, jam out, have some coffee and fellowship in a great place for a great cause. So please do that and go out there Sunday, March 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. The next thing, the AVER newsletter. This is something that's new. This was given to us by our friends at the Road Home program. This is information for veterans. But AVER stands for the American Veterans for Equal Rights, Chicago, Illinois chapter. They got their own newsletter. Look at that. They got their own newsletter. This is people. Now, you see this? Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me zoom in on myself. Yeah, look at that. You see that? This is a newsletter that they started, and it's just somebody just printed it out, stapled it together, and that's the newsletter right there. This is how good things start. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's how good things start. I hope this grows. I want this to be a book. But anyway, it's the Vet Pride newsletter. So in it, for our Chicago listeners and friends and the folks who are veterans out there, build your own social support system with veterans in your community to improve and maintain your overall mental health. Veterans Coffee Socials enhance communication and foster bonds among veterans and others in the community. They're a place to meet friends, find resources, and have fun with other veterans and community members. Now, if you live in Chicago, there is a particular place and location for you to support, get to, meet up at, and take part in the activities there, and that's the Blue Door Neighborhood Center. That's located at 2551 West Cermak Road. Free parking, and it's CTA accessible. 10 a.m. to noon on Thursdays. Come and fill your cup. Veterans Coffee Social, family, and supporters are welcome. This is good stuff. There are so many people out there. I like this because it's a non-traditional way to take care of a big problem. And that problem is getting people connected to resources in their fashion. You got to meet people where they're at. That's what it's about. Not everybody's going to come to your office from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Other people are going through things that require a different way to reach them. Maybe they're not going to fill out the website. Maybe they're not going to do the survey at the end of the thing. But they might come out for some coffee, sit there, chill out, right? Show up once, show up twice, get to know, hey, what's your name? How you doing? That's it. Sometimes the way to make the biggest impact is not the flashiest. It's not always where the crowd is. You got to meet people where they're at. So shout out to the people who are running this newsletter. This is really good stuff. All right. It also continues some good family information. The time is 8:41 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. February, Black History Month. The Bronzeville Children's Museum is the first and only African-American children's museum in the nation. Join Blue Star Families of Chicago for a visit to the museum Saturday, March 4th from noon to 2 p.m. That's located at 9301 South Stony Island Avenue in Chicago. Next, join Blue Star Families and the American Legion Auxiliary for a fun spring event featuring bingo and an egg hunt at the Forrestal Village Chapel on Saturday, April 1st, noon to 3 p.m. There will be games, prizes, and lunch provided. The chapel is located at 2630 Ohio Avenue, Great Lakes, Illinois. Gabriel Bradford, if you would be so kind, can you please put both of those links, Bronzeville Children's Museum and then Spring Fling, Bingo, and Egg Hunt, in the chat for these fantastic, wonderful listeners. And take a brother to a commercial if you would be so kind, young man, if you would be so kind. Thank you, Gabriel. Sarah Hipp is here. Betty Weaver is here. Joe Jackson, Chris Decker, Mendoza, good morning to all of you beautiful people. Irene Lakay Drequito, good morning. Anthony Ortiz, get to know Anthony Ortiz. He's a dear friend of the show. He's also a Marine veteran. Good morning to you, sir. Gabriel Bradford.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, word up. Scratch it up for you. Arnabit Bahasa Grace, Araya Swan, Marissa Amoni, James Alvin Santos, George Champ, awesome name, Jamie Patser Johnson, and G. Soriano Ranillo. Good morning to all of you great people. Okay, while Gabriel is putting that in the chat for you, I got more important stuff to tell you guys about. I mean, look. Oh, the news don't stop. It don't stop. You know? They think it's all fun and games. But it's not. It's life and death. It's deadly serious, y'all. You need to vote. You need to donate blood if you can. Food pantry. All that. That's what you get here on Good Morning Aurora. Okay. First Fridays next month in March will present the theme Women in the Front. That will pay homage to women who stand up, take charge, and inspire us. May's First Fridays will bring the large food truck festival to Benton Street. Then the food truck court will open in June at Water Street Square with a handful of vendors across from City Hall. Remember, Water Street, where this place is taking place at, it's right across from here. Good Morning Aurora. You can see, I'll see you, and you can see us. The food court joins First Fridays in June and then returns from September through December. Art and Market is coming up as well. The first Art and Market starts February 25th, which is a Saturday. And the next one is going to be March 25th and then April 22nd. Art and Market is hosted at Society 57, 100 South River Street here in beautiful downtown Aurora, right across the street from the Aurora Public Library. That's River Street and Benton. The indoor market will feature more than 24 local makers from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. each of those days, February 25th, March 25th, and April 22nd. The time is 8:44. April 1st, Egg Hunt on the Island will fill up downtown with Easter and spring activities at several participating businesses. This event will run from 1 to 3 p.m. and also feature Bunny at the Gazebo, a chance to meet a special Easter bunny and receive a free photo download. Also, another great year-round events taking place downtown Aurora, which is Boss Babes. Boss Babes takes place at Wickwood House. This event is held monthly from 4:30 to 6 p.m. on the third Thursday at Wickwood House. They incorporate field trips into the lineup, so this year they'll be going to different places. So, yeah, how about that?
It's pretty cool.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
I'll be dog. That's a humdinger. Gabriel Bradford, with all of this development and all of this stuff taking place in downtown Aurora, I let's pontificate. The word of the day is pontificate. If you could please put that in the chat for me.
Oh yeah.
Pontificate.
Pontificate.
Let's pontificate. Are we ready for the challenges ahead? Are we? Are we as a collective city ready for what is over the horizon? What do you think about that?
I feel like here in Aurora we're doing a lot to move Aurora forward, and I mean there's been so much progress made, especially like we have to remember we still had a pandemic, like a global pandemic that shut down the world.
That's word.
For a really long time, and we're still many countries are still experiencing very serious COVID death rates and numbers, and even still here in the U.S., like there's still some very serious numbers. So we're not out of it yet. So we have to remember that even though like we've come so far, even with a global pandemic going on.
Now that song stuck in my head. I tried so hard, it got so far, right? But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Is that what's right? I tried so hard, but I got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Oh my goodness.
I know you guys are here for news, not to hear me.
I forgot about
not
that.
Not to hear me sing.
Well, we got to do our record label. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to go out in the community, start doing like an open mic night. We could go to Java Jams. We could start doing our singing. You know.
We'll think about that. Let's stick with what we know is the news, because unless you're going to be the singer, I'm not.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I can't promise anything, but the news for these people, man. I don't know if they want to hear me. I don't know if they want to hear me sing. Who knows, though? I have been told that I have bars. That means that I can rap. Can you rap?
No, I was in choir, so I never got to learn how to rap.
Okay.
Hey, wait, you want to spit some bars? I'm curious to hear.
Absolutely
this.
not.
No, not
right now.
Okay.
Not right now.
Sorry,
not right
folks.
now. Hold on. No, we can.
It
could happen.
I tried.
It could happen. It could happen, but not right now. We're not going to spit no bars on the air right now. That would be crazy.
Be cool.
Mark Rowley Lorca, good morning. Valerie, good morning to you as well. The time is 8:48. Next piece of news is student grants, the Career Accelerator Grant. We had the pleasure of having the Quad County Urban League on the show. In addition to the Aurora Regional Chamber of Commerce, they told us about the great things that they are doing and the partnerships that they have since forged. That partnership allows for young people in our Aurora area to receive grants and different help in the as they navigate what career paths and fields they'd like to go into. So for a lot of young people, perhaps the school experience has been somewhat rocky. Maybe they didn't graduate. That's all right. There are many ways to help and to get help for the young people. They can work for ComEd, they can learn, and they have the fast track once completing said program. They have a fast track to becoming an employee. Did you put those links in the chat?
Yeah, or which ones?
The ones from the Blue Star
Oh,
families and all that?
yeah.
Okay.
I put all those in the chat. And actually, talking about the chat, somebody said bars after hours.
Who said that?
That was Alejandra Miscotti. So I like that.
Oh, girl.
Bars after hours.
Hold on, girl. Don't.
That sounds
Right?
like a good segment for GMA. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I like that. Bars after hours. Yeah, word up. Now I'm thinking about it. Let me get back to what I was talking about. Career Accelerator Grants. Let's focus now. Elevate your skills and accelerate your career. The application is cash for books, gas, supplies, and more. This is for BIPOC students earning certifications in healthcare and manufacturing at Waubonsie Community College. Recipients agree to provide an updated resume and attend interviews with local employers. Healthcare industry certifications are CNA, CMA, Certified Medical Assistant, EMT, and phlebotomy tech. Manufacturing industry certifications are CNC machine operator and construction, pre-apprenticeships, and welding. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
That's
now, Gabriel,
amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Here's the link for that. If you could please put that in the chat for these.
Yes,
great
I
people.
will.
Thank you, young man.
And talking about these career accelerator programs, I was actually at the doctor's just the other day. And
At the where?
At the doctor's just the other day. It was,
Okay.
I can't remember which medical center it was. And I was getting my blood drawn. And you know who was taking it? A phlebotomy tech, who's somebody who's learning how to do phlebotomy from Waubonsie Community College.
Oh, nice.
So it is, these things are working. I mean, they're learning how to,
They're out there.
they're out there and about. And shout outs to the person who drew my blood, because they did a good job. It actually didn't hurt that much. So
Good.
but
Good
still,
stuff.
it's those things where, like, you hear about these programs, but they're real. I mean, I was there, and it was so cool to see that program working.
Oh,
and
they
how
know
it's
it's
happening.
real.
Oh
If
yeah,
they watching this show, they know it's real.
Yeah, they're better.
Alejandra Moscote, they know it's real. Right? Norma Peterson, Tracy Duran. Oh, they know it's real. Too real. Okay. The last piece of, what time is it? The time is 8:52 a.m. Yikes. All right. The last piece of news. Actually, I got two pieces. So look at all this news. Look at all this news. Boy, I always wanted to do that on the air. We swimming in news. I needed one of those, actually. All right. The last piece of news, second to last, is First Friday next month, March 3rd, will be another great date with some talented Aurora artists, Donnell Collins, Perry Slade, and Dr. Charles Smith. First Friday on March 3rd from 6 to 9 p.m., they will feature a live R&B band. And this is going to take place at the third floor gallery of Aurora Public Art, 20 East Downer Place. That is the David L. Pierce building. Regular gallery hours are Wednesdays through Fridays, so it's going on now, noon to 4 p.m., and then Saturdays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you're available to go there this weekend, have a good time, and see what's happening up there. Events and gallery admission are free and open to the public. This is brought to us by Aurora Public Art and the city of Aurora. And then they have one final date after the 3rd, and that's going to be Saturday the 18th, and that's from 2 to 4 p.m. And that's a live artist discussion. So get to know these guys. I know Perry Slade. Let me tell you about Perry Slade. He is a He's a good man. I went to school with his son, Ramsey Slade. And I want to say shout out and a big blessing to the entire Slade family. Take me to a quick commercial as I bend down and pick up the piece of paper that I was supposed to be reading, but I decided to throw in that display of,
Hey,
you know.
It's a Friday. It's at the end of the week, so we're all going out to, all got to go out with a bang, right?
Right. That's a fact. All right. The last piece of news here is from the Office of State Representative Maura Herschauer. Recently, she passed a bill requiring 5 days of paid time off for employees. Here we go. Every employee of Illinois will be guaranteed at least 5 days of paid leave for personal use every year under legislation passed by State Representative Maura Herschauer of Batavia. She voted to pass Senate Bill 208, the Paid Leave for All Workers Act, which requires all employers to grant their employees working a minimum of 40 hours a week 5 days of paid leave per year for personal use. Under this legislation, workers can earn paid leave starting on their first day of employment, which translates to 1 hour of leave for every 40 hours of work. Ms. Herschauer's vote also ensures that employees will be permitted to use their paid leave as soon as the 90th day of employment. However, employers hold the right to allow workers to use paid leave earlier. Paid leave may be used as employees desire to conduct any personal business without providing a reason for the absence or any documentation or certification. The time is 8:55 a.m. All right. Did we get everything? What did we forget?
Let's see. We always got to have that one funny, behind the scenes story of what we were doing when we set up. I feel like that's what I always think about when we're going live on air. But
What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking, oh, that's a good question. Today, I don't think we have
What's
one of
the
those
story?
stories.
Oh, what's the story?
I don't know.
I mean, you could tell them. Tell them what you learned.
You always
Tell
got to
'em what
have
you learned this
a
morning.
SIM card with Good Morning Aurora or anywhere. You always got to have a SIM card.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
You got to have a SIM card on top of a SIM card, another SIM card. You need.
Oh, yeah.
You need it all. You need it all to do this. But the cool thing about it is that with that small, what will I call it? With that small humbug that we had this morning, on the one hand, Gabriel got to learn, and we also saw a lack, and we'll have that need next week because we got some good things coming up with the camera. So we're going to show you guys some stuff, and we got some new schedule changes coming up too that we've been You put the pontificate.
Yeah,
we've got some.
that in.
We've got some things that we've been pontificating on in regards to the schedule. So, new initiatives, new programs on new days. All of that is coming very soon. Other than that, I hope that you guys have a beautiful, blessed, positive, wonderful rest of this Friday and this weekend. If you can do something nice for somebody else, please do so. Follow the Neighbor Project on Instagram and Facebook to learn about ways for your family and yourself to receive help here in the city of Aurora in regards to housing and personal finances. Besides that, I hope that you guys stay tuned because there's nowhere to go but up. Take care of yourself and each other.